So, hi everyone, Sri Vingesh here. So, this is day 38 of me sharing my learnings and explaining things in English. So, as I'm preparing for PL3 NET exam, the topic for today is how to design the visually appealing reports and report objects. So, currently we are in the Design Power BI Reports module and we are speaking about the Build Power BI Visuals and Reports. So, let's move ahead to the notion. And yeah, design visually appealing reports. A good reports has the right data, clear visual, and looks nice, and it is easy to understand without feeling cluttered. So if you're going to design a dashboard, keep it simple and don't complicate things at the initial stage at least. So it should be very understandable by every user. That is the main motto. And let's go to the each point and let's discuss it brief about it. So space makes the report clear and easy to read by reducing clutter and separating objects. So imagine if you are having a notebook and you are writing your task, and if you are writing line by line how it feels, and if you write it in a leaving one line and writing in another line how this feels. So the concept is, if you're leaving gap or if you leave space between the visuals or object in your report, it will be very neat and clean. So the next one is margin. So margin also is used for the same purpose, which is a report should be very neat at the end. So let's see. So here we have a border of margin, and as you can see there is some margin, and at the center of the margin there are some visuals, and the outer of the margin there is some the name, the logo, and the filters and all. So this is one way to construct your report. And always remember that putting margin first itself and building your visual will make it neat and clean. Next, object spacing. So proper spacing between report objects ensure clarity, avoids overlap, and keeps them the layout balanced and easy to navigation. So spacing between the object is similar to the space we had discussed in the first point. It is nothing but having the required space between the visuals to avoid overlap kind of things. Next we have size. So when we speak about size, it can be differentiated in two ways. One is page size, the other one is visual size. The page size can be customized by the format option, and if you go to the custom tab and if you click the whatever aspect ratio you want, it will change the page size. And it is also based on your report users. Suppose your report user is using 9:16, that is a mobile screen. You can also customize it to 1080 into sorry width is equal to 1080 and the height is equal to 1920. You can use that ratio pixels. And if and also the other one is visual size. Larger visual attract attention. So uh, if you want the user to pay attention to your certain visual, you can customize it to in a big size. You can drag using the mouse, or also you can use the same kind of uh, up size and height. It will be there in the formatting option. You can increase the size or decrease the size however you want. And next we have alignment. So ensure visual and select and sections on the report page are consistently aligned with the equal spacing and uniform formatting for clean order. So it is nothing but every space or every visual in the report is aligned properly or not. So how you can see, you can go to implicit section and explicit sections. So first, what it is. So implicit sections is nothing but the alignment between the set of visuals. So now we have key metrics here. So within the key metrics, we should have some gap to differentiate. This is sales, this is total customers and all. So like this, we have to um, make understand the user, right? So for that purpose, we have to use the implied sections. So this is called implied sections. So if you give the space between the particular group of visual, it is implied section. Now the other one is explicit sections. What it means? No, it is nothing but the space between uh, set of the parts of visuals. So here we have key metrics, here we have bar charts, and donut charts. Here we have bar and matrix. So splitting these three in the visuals is known as explicit sections. So here it is a different section. One is key metrics, the other remaining two. So splitting this and showing to a user is a way of explicit section. Next we have color. The color, you use soft color, consistent color for focus, and bold colors for highlighting. Ensure good contrast for accessibility. So nothing but it is nothing but. So if you are, so I will show an example. There is a Microsoft website here, and I'll go to here. So here you can see the color, right? So like this, you should not construct your report like this. So here, if you can see here, just a minute, it is loading. Yeah, so here in the key metrics and the other bar charts also, we have different colors put it into a report. So it is not visually appealing, right? So using the proper colors would increase the user satisfaction. So the best way to do is like this. So this is the visual where you can see there is a contrast between two colors and better color understanding, and the report is very well constructed. So color is also very important to user satisfaction. So it is important thing to keep it in mind. And next we have consistency. So maintain consistency in spacing, sizing, alignment, fonts, and formatting to create balanced and professional report. So what is consistency? I'll show here. So here the text within the visuals is not very consistent. It is in one text and it is in bold, and the other text is in uh, italic and like this. So avoiding these kind of small mistakes will enhance the report very in a good way. So you have to take concern about this also. So we are done with the design visually appealing reports. Now let's move to the next topic, which is report objects. So report object is very simple topic, and there are only two report objects. One is visuals, another one is elements. So what is visuals first? Visuals of semantic model data. So if you are keeping a report and using a fields like a table fields or a measure, it will use the semantic model, and it will use the semantic model to query the data, query the result. And if you use elements, it won't affect the semantic model. So let's discuss what is visuals, what is uh, elements. So visuals are 30 core visuals are there in Power BI. So you can additionally also you can import visuals from Power BI app source. I guess I'm not sure about it, so you can go Google check it. I guess it is app source. So what it will do now, it will import the additional visuals, that is an advanced level visuals, which is not available in Power BI. But now the Power BI is very advanced. The core visuals is more than enough to tell any story that you want to. And yeah, this is pretty much enough to convey the insights about the business. And there is 30 core visuals, and these are the visual defined as visuals, and these are use semantic models to query result. And next one we have is elements. And we have text box, buttons, shapes, and image. So what is text box? Text box is if you want to title a visual, that is, this is the sales dashboard of bar chart of sales, and this is the total revenue of this country, and this is the bar chart of weekdays versus weekends. So like that, you want to name a visual, you use text box. And text box are also used in variety of cases, and it is about your creativity. And there is buttons are always used to navigate to one page to another page using bookmarks, and go to another page, and also go back, and clearing filters, applying filters. For this and all, the buttons will help. And shapes also will be act like as a button. And what's the difference between shapes and button is, you can customize a button in certain more ways. So if you compare shapes with button, I would say button, because button give a slight edge, because it will add some more feature to your dashboard. And then there is an image. Suppose you are working for an organization and you want to keep a logo, or you want to keep some kind of image or gif in your report, you can use image to do that. And it supports JPEG and BMP files and some more files. You can go, feel free to read the Microsoft website, where they will be putting what kind of file formats image will support and all. So yeah, this is pretty much about this. And you can go to the visuals in Power BI, and you can check everything, each and everything, for your better understanding. Yeah, that's it I had for this video. And if you are an expert watching my video and find any mistakes or miscommunication, please let me know in the comment section. I'm open to learn from everyone. Thank you.